nobody here at the moment, but I'm just gonna get right to work. And I will regularly check the camera for comments and all. So first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna build the cage to the helmet. And I'm gonna do this by cutting strips of cardboard and I'm be gluing them in place. My glue gun should be warmed up by now, but I'm not sure. Probably isn't.
Oh wait, I mean, I like it. I guess I can't like quite yet.
Maybe I can. I should have my tape on me right here. So what I'm gonna be doing first is building a cage on top of the dome of the helmet. So for this helmet, I'm making it so I look outside of through the mouth instead of the eyes. The eyes are going to be raised up higher, which is going to allow better visibility and some better, better detail. I think my glue gun's still warming up a bit, so I might have to just stick with tape for the moment so I can get the whole thing together. But after a bit, it should be done, and I can start gluing it all together. I think these strips are a bit too short. I'll say put these off to the side. This should be... No, it's not. I could probably just tape another shorter strip to that, make that work. I might just do that, or yeah, I might even flatten the front. No, I should make it into a dome. I should have chat ready. I'm gonna... Oh, hey, Kodas is here. That's very nice to see you on stream. But so what I'm gonna be doing first is, I already mentioned this a little bit ago, but I'm gonna be building a cage on top of the helmet. Kind of like a, well, I guess we'd probably call it a cage. It's not exactly a cage, but you know what I mean. But I'm gonna be building the face or the mask of this character raised up, so the eyes are gonna be more up here. I should have a decent angle. Hello. Glue gun should be warmed up by now. I might just go ahead and glue that now. Probably not the wisest decision to do this on my carpet, but I don't really have anywhere else to do this at the moment, so I'm just doing it here. I'm going to regularly check for any comments. That looks pretty straight. I think I'm going to start with taping pieces first before gluing them. That way I can get a better vision of what I'm working with first before gluing everything together. Because on multiple instances I had glued something together and realized I didn't like it and have to remove it, which is usually kind of a pain with cardboard. doesn't need to be perfect, but I will still try and get it relatively even. I mean, to be fair, it is technically Ennard is kind of a basically just metal spaghetti, so I don't need to worry about him looking too perfect, but I will still try and get the structure relatively straightened out. I had the So I'm going to be building the mask as like a separate piece, but it's going to be starting off as this, but it's going to be made 3D after I build off of it. Right now I'm building this cage area so the mask has something to hang on to. I see you're building my bad. See you're using a similar building style of building I use. I guess it's probably a more common thing because it's a cardboard's kind of commonly used for budget-friendly reasons and all. But yeah, it's kind of this is what I did with my last year's costume. Though I didn't have the helmet raised, it was just basically one of these. But when I build these helmets, I basically just make a tube that can fit snugly over my head, and I build like a round dome for a top, and I coat the inside and outside of the cardboard piece with glue, regular white glue. That causes it to, well, that kind of adds like a layer of protection to it for moisture protection and mold prevention and all. Doing that for a couple layers really does help make it last, which should be good for, I guess, longer term use. And I intend to make this costume more long term because I might make some content and stuff out of it if I do keep it long enough, which I most definitely would try to keep it. Dang, I already got 6 people. It's pretty cool. I did try to get a pretty decent camera angle. It's kind of hard to find a good angle because I'm on the floor and all, but I guess you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I'll just stick with this angle for the moment. Okay, so just so I can visualize this a little easier. Cords are kind of in the way. I probably should have thought cord management a little bit more. So, mask pieces, mouth pieces. And it could be kind of cool if I made one of these pieces hinged. So if I tilt my head or something, it kind of hinges open a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of like the sister location animatronics are in the games. I don't actually see Ennard's mask split open on Final Fantasy now I think about it. Except for maybe in the cutscene. I actually remember I recently played Final Fantasy 5, and I actually began to really like Ennard the more I played it. Especially because I kept on trying to beat the private room nights. I might have to build a few more beams. I'll try and keep this area more open looking, I guess. I should probably leave a few gaps so later when I get the tube pieces and all, then I could, put it all together and make it look Ennard looking, I guess. I just remembered I got some concept art for this costume. If y'all would like to see it, just let me know. I'll check the comments in just a moment. But right now I'm trying to lock in with this. I guess that's straight enough. I'm essentially just building a second dome on top of the main dome. Probably start gluing this all together in a moment, though. My glue gun is warmed up a lot more now. I just remember I was going to get some background music, but forgot to do that. I guess I could probably just talk for a portion of the stream. But mostly I'm just trying to focus on this. I feel like it's a bit loose looking. I feel like this piece should be slightly longer. You know, no, I'm not too worried about that. I'll just move it to the back instead. It's not going to be that much of a problem if it's on the back especially. I just kind of need a little bit of something for the... I just need a little something for the mask to hang on to, so... I just realized that's... No, I tightened that. Looks a bit more square at the front. That's actually kind of... I kind of needed that, actually. I'll be regularly looking back through the chat just to see if any of y'all are talking or have questions. Feel free to ask anything if you do. There you go. Hello. Alright, so this actually looks like it'll be fitting a bit better on the back than I thought, so I'm not going to have to replace these as longer pieces. I might actually start gluing this all together, though, because it's already looking pretty decent. So I might just go ahead and start doing that right now. But first, I'm going to take these other pieces down just for a moment to get one good look. If I can find the end of the tape. It's like finding the end of mesh tape. Anyone relate to that? It's like trying to find the end to a piece of mesh tape, but you just can't find it. Oh. That was intentional. Yeah, tape is not going to hold this down very well at all, so I might just go ahead and start gluing it right now.
All right.
Oh, I should have grabbed the glue sticks up here, man. I came a little bit underprepared, but I'm not too worried about that, as this is my first stream. I might disappear for a moment before too long to grab the glue sticks. Should have brought them up here with me. I thought I was prepared, but we live and learn. Everything's kind of a learning process. Okay. My friend is currently going on about how
Basha's is better than Walmart while I'm trying to make a new mech. I don't think I ever heard of Basha's. But actually, yeah, Codus the Random, you seem to have a thing for mechs and stuff. And I mean that in another way, not that way. You know what I'm talking about, but yeah, if you make costumes yourself, then that'd be pretty cool if you consider uploading them. I had to upload my costumes at some point as well. I don't have very many of them, but I do have one or two surviving ones. This is looking pretty decent so far. Just when So I'm probably gonna have these faceplate pieces slightly, I guess, slightly rounded or kind of following the curve a little bit. Not too much because I don't want to warp this thing or warp the plates, but I'm having hiccups right now. Gosh dang it. Trying to talk, dang it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to build off the sides right here. I guess I'm gonna do a little bit more heavily while also leaving space for the eyes. I think I would only need to have like room for at least one eye, because from what I've seen on most designs and official models of Ennard, he always seems to have like one lazy eye or one missing eye. So I could probably just do that. He already has enough eyes everywhere else anyway, so that could work. Already been live for 17 minutes, good lord. I think that would be decent. I'm not sure why I'm working at this angle. I should probably face this towards me. Yeah, you guys seem to see this relatively well. I might actually raise the camera slightly. Hey, Lupas. They, I guess. And what nice work right now. Yeah, thank you very much. Nope, I did not. So that should probably be good. I don't have any house pets run through my door. Probably see the door in the background. Actually, no, you can't. I'll be occasionally looking through the chat to see if anyone has anything to say. Feel free to say anything. Well, ask questions or whatnot. I think this is gonna have to do. Trying to be careful with my placements. What am I making? I am making I guess I'm making the head to a cosplay. I have the concept art right here.
I'm making a Ennard costume. I sketched him out, and this is gonna be what I'm making for a costume. I'll be making Ennard because he's one of my more favorite Five Nights at Freddy's characters, and I made a couple pretty impressive Five Nights at Freddy's costumes in previous years. They're all long gone. It was before I even started this channel, but yeah, I made some pretty impressive ones, and they were some of my more favorite ones as well. So I thought, why not do another? This time I'm doing Ennard, but I was thinking about doing a few changes to him. Like, I was looking through different models and games of him. Some of my more favorite designs were, well, his original design's already cool, but I saw models for VHS versions of Ennard from, I think one of them was, I can't remember what one of them was called, but there's this one really creepy Five Nights at Freddy's VHS that had a really unsettling interpretation of Ennard, and I thought it would be cool if I kind of took inspiration from that design. But I'm also thinking about taking inspiration from a couple other sources. I saw there was this game, Roblox game, that had its own interesting interpretations of Ennard, where they were a little bit more bulky looking, and I thought that would probably work well for my costume because I'm not going to be able to turn myself into an endoskeleton for just a costume. So, I mean, it would be very difficult to do, obviously. I'm looking through your comments right now. And thank you for nice sketch, yo. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So, wait, I just had, okay. I'm always misplacing things. This is, anytime I work on anything, I'm always misplacing something. Also, I just realized I didn't grab my package of glue sticks. I need to go run and grab those before long. Here, I'm gonna try and face this towards you guys so you can kind of get a look. You see where this is going, don't you? So, yeah, that's my idea. I do notice, though, that I'm going to have to kind of flatten out the front. So I might have to kind of square it off a little. Kind of like that. Just so the mask would sit on there properly. Right now, I'm not too worried about it getting like super polished or smooth, because Ennard is our metal spaghetti boy. So I'm not too worried about making the base look like a polished dome, because he's made up of metal cords and wires and tubes and all, because of whatever wild building structure William Afton had. Though he's a bit messy, because he's multiple endoskeletons. I actually could explain why he might be a little more bulky looking. If you think about it, Ennard is supposed to be 4 animatronics, endoskeletons merged in one. So all that massed together, even if it's just endoskeletons, you still get something kind of big looking. Unmute. I should do LEDs for the eyes if I can. I actually did consider doing that. It's kind of hard to... I guess it's kind of hard for someone with a lower budget like me to do LEDs. But I could probably figure something out. But I was actually considering fairy lights, but I think those have very... I think those have very
fragile cords and stuff. So I might not do that. But yeah, LEDs would be really cool. Yeah, slightly thicken the other. I don't have a trash bin in this room, so whatever small particles end up on my floor is going to have to be vacuumed. But I'm not too worried about that. I can just vacuum it real quick. Something like this. I think that looks pretty decent. Yeah, I'm gonna make that work. My lighting should be good. I got another light here. I don't know if that made any difference. Yeah, I don't think that made any difference whatsoever, but adjust my lamp. So how is everyone's day go? Well, my day's going good. I'm glad you asked. Well, hopefully your day was good too. So I gotta kind of make him a little more blocky. I guess you wouldn't really call that blocky. It's still pretty round, but slightly flatter. So it's a slightly looser curve. Yeah, I think this is gonna have to work. I really should have grabbed a computer for background music. I was meant to do that earlier, but completely forgot because when I saw it was 10 minutes left to the stream, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get my glue gun plugged in. Then I saw I had to set up a little bit extra for the stream than I thought, so I was like, oh, well, I gotta do that then. And I completely forgot about it. But we live and learn. I think I already mentioned that a couple times now. That's pretty straight. Okay. In just a moment, I am gonna run off to grab some glue sticks. I meant to grab some earlier. I'll make sure to be quick though. Well, I'm just gonna glue these two pieces together first before I do that. Video. Would you rank different grocery stores? And another one. I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like I've been drawing on digital art recently. You've been doing digital drawing recently, I think is what you're implying. I'm gonna adjust the camera. Yeah, digital art. I have attempted it, at least on my phone. I don't have any other device to really do it on. But I've attempted it. It's like relearning how to draw again. I was not going to even bother trying. I think drawing on paper and pencil was the way to go for me. But yeah, digital art does have some of its benefits, like the undo tool, and which is something all traditional artists would probably, I'm not sure what. Traditional artists would probably go crazy if there was a physical undo tool, but I don't think that's even possible. I think, yeah, squaring off like this. I think this is gonna work actually. Oops. Tape's not really holding well. Before I glue this, though, I'm going to glue it right now, if I can. Then I'm going to run off to grab some glue sticks. It'll only take me 30 seconds if I sprint, 45 seconds if I sprint and trip. Oh, that's a bit hot. And maybe 25 seconds if I be quick. I think I can glue these together. Oh yeah, I definitely can. Try and keep the cord out of my way. I don't want to accidentally snip it or something. I just realized it's a little bit uneven, but it doesn't need to be perfect. I might actually slightly adjust it without breaking this. I think that'll be good. That'll be fine. I'm reading through y'all's comments real quick. Man on was locked in so hard. Digital art. You been locked in on digital art very hard? Drives you nuts? Oh, wow. My friend trying to fight my earth mover build and he's failing so bad in jousting. That's a pretty interesting story. Went from ultra kill to jousting. But I'm gonna run off real quick. I'll make it quick. Give countdown 30 seconds and I will do it starting now. And I'm back. I do not know how long that was. Guys counting up? Counting up or down? 14 seconds, I guess. There's no way that was 14 seconds. No way. You guys are just trying to make me feel better. So I'm gonna keep using these for reference. Oh shoot, I just realized that's a little bit in the way. Yeah, the beams are slightly in the way. I can cut those off real quick. Well, I may not cut the actual beams, I'll just cut into it a little bit. I might just go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. They don't need to be quite this thick anyways. It wasn't a whole lot that was visible, just enough to disturb me. I don't know, I should probably move a little bit more than that. You know what, actually, I'll just keep it. It's subtle, but it's noticeable. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. You guys miscounted? Yeah, we make mistakes like that every once in a while. Like me forgetting to take the hot glue sticks up with me before going live, which I failed. But I got them now, so that's not the end of the world. Otherwise, that would have been a really bad situation for everyone. It would have been my fault. There, I'm gonna have to glue this down a little bit more because it's still pretty loose and kind of makes me dissatisfied. Just so I'm not half talking to myself the entire time. I guess I am talking to you guys, but still. If you guys want, ask questions, I will answer. Should probably do Q&A at some point. That'll probably help out a little bit. Or just be a little fun thing to do. But so breaking news, my earth mover is back and he's stuck right now. Gotta be careful on your earth mover. Actually, I think your earth mover has to be the one not breaking your back. Those things are like freaking cities with feet. It's quite literally what I think they look like. They're basically just walking cities. Kind of a cool concept, but yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. All right. I just got these reversed. Even if there's a little bit of a seam between the mask segments, it's not a huge deal. There's already a visible seam on his mask anyways. So I just realized how absolutely ridiculous that is. Look how uneven that is. That's a monstrosity. I'm not tolerating that at all. I'm cutting that off. I'm absolutely not tolerating such major unevenness. Yeah, that looks much better. It's still pretty uneven, but whatever. Still looks a bit better. Question: what got you into art and fandoms? Pretty good. That's actually a really good question. I think what got me most into art was... Actually, I don't even know. I think originally I think when I was a kid, I drew a lot of comics and stuff. Like I drew little comics of like stick figures, some goofy ones. I remember some Minecraft YouTubers like Unspeakable and his ASWD character were my favorites growing for a while. I even learned how to make the ASWD squeak noise, or squeal, I guess. I'm not even sure how he described the sound, but I remember doing that. So I started off with kind of making comics around that character because I liked it a lot. And eventually I got into Baldi's Basics, and I decided I wanted to try making some kind of mask of the character. And after I searched up some videos on YouTube, I ran into this YouTuber called Tommy's Puppets Lab, who was who was especially pretty popular with his Five Nights at Freddy's puppets and all. But he made a tutorial on how to do paper mache, and I followed the tutorial, made a broom out of paper mache and cardboard, and since then I kind of just been into art. Paper mache was like my big thing for a while, but eventually it started getting expensive and messy, and eventually I just slowly got into it a little bit less, and now I'm kind of Jesus a lot, but first I did a lot of paper mache, then I got into I think it was, I don't know, foam crafting, which is when I kind of made my first helmets and costumes and all. And then I got into drawing just a couple years ago. And just like, if you were to look back at my channel, which channel's over a year old now. I started my channel on Christmas of 2025, and I think I was only drawing for a few months by then, and then I got a phone for Christmas, and that's when I started YouTube, and that's when I started getting into drawing. So that's that. As for fandoms, there's a few fandoms that I just got a notification. Yeah, I would ignore it. So I got into drawing. Then when I installed YouTube on my phone, which is quite a while after I kind of got used to it. I mostly just watched through like art related things because I kind of wanted to stay in one niche, I guess. But then I kind of started hearing about murder drones and Ultra Kill, few other fandoms, and there's a few games that I found out about through YouTubers, and I started playing those games, and that's kind of just how I grown off that. So that's quite a lot. I went from paper mache to drawing and costume making. So yeah, that's kind of my story. So right now, okay, it doesn't seem like I have any comments, but at the moment I am just gonna kind of focus on working on this thing. But if you got any more questions, I could still answer some. I'm glad you asked that question though, because I guess it's a bit of a lore drop. But hold on, is that wide enough? Oh yeah, that's wide enough. Try to keep the eye sockets clear or empty. My intention is to use styrofoam balls for the eyes, which I will either leave as they are and just paint the actual eyeball, and see if I can fit like some sort of LED or fairy light through it if I can. Or I might just cover those in like baby paper mache or something. But as for how I'm going to be building this entire helmet, I'm mostly gonna be just building the frame out of cardboard and coating the cardboard in layers of glue, like I did for the base of this helmet. It's kind of hard to tell, but this whole thing has a couple layers of glue over it, which kind of makes it a bit more tough or a little bit more stiff. I got another question. Well, not really a question. Is for Abyssa. Which mobile suit she fits in Schwarzenegger Gundam? Full armor or Blue Destiny suit? I don't really know what Schwarzet is, or really about Gundam, but Abyssa the Smiler, my character, I really don't know. She isn't even canonically, she doesn't really think like a person, so she probably won't even see armor the way we do. But if she was gonna wear anything, any sort of armor, it would probably be some kind of regular suit, I guess. I'm not really sure what Blue Destiny unit is, but that kind of sounds like some sort of suit. Or what was the other thing? Mobile suit? I guess mobile suit would probably fit her best. I don't know. She's a smiler. She doesn't think the same way we do. Has her own methods of maneuvering. Probably doesn't even think of the concept of. She probably doesn't even think of robot suits. But she probably doesn't even know what those are. Since she's a backrooms character, she's not gonna know much outside of that. It looks pretty decent. Do y'all think so? I think so. Will she? Okay, so got another comment. Will she be attracted to lights like a cat with a laser? Abyssa? She's not quite like that. In fact, canonically, Abyssa is actually irritated from light. Not like severely, but she does get irritated from light. Based on the couple questions I've already gone so far, I assume both of you guys really like my Abyssa character, which is cool because she's probably one of my more favorites as well. But yeah, Abyssa, she's more or less irritated from light than attracted, but she doesn't necessarily. It's not like she's always being messed up from it or nothing. She just doesn't really like light very much because it kind of gets a little annoying or irritating. So she's not attracted to light like a cat would be. It would be more of a light is in my eyes. It's bothering me a lot. Kind of like how you would like if you shine a light in anyone's eye or on a wall or something. They probably doesn't think, it's just a light. For Abyssa, it's probably just like a, can you just shut that off, please, type situation. Okay. I think this is looking pretty decent so far. Oh, I just realized it's... Okay, now we're good. I think it'd be really cool if I made half of the faceplate split open. I could definitely do that. Probably just need to build a decent looking hinge. My opinion is Schwarzet, but she isn't smart or something. I don't know. Coda's question. What if Abyssa gets flashed by fog lights? Definitely he's gonna get angry. Gonna be in a mood. Probably a very bad idea. If you have any sense of self-preservation, you probably wouldn't do that. But right now I'm gonna lock in on working on this now. I think this frame is already looking relatively decent.
Still very light and not super rigid yet, but I can still build off it later. This is just going to be a base, so I'm not too worried about that. But right now, because I already kind of got that work done, I'm going to build these faceplate pieces, make them 3D. Might have to cut me another large piece of cardboard, which is why I got this large box. I already got some extra, but I'm going to cut this out just in case I need it. Alright, try coming. Alright. For these smaller jaw pieces, I might have to just stack a couple layers instead of... No, actually, I could probably frame them. Yeah, I'm gonna try framing them. But first, I'm gonna start with the top face, with the main face. Start with... Probably should have grabbed my marker as well. I actually got a pencil like right here for some reason. Actually, I got this one. I'll just use a pencil. Pencil will work just fine. Okay, so I don't need this to be too wide. Just long enough. That should follow down the length a little bit. Oh, all the way. Yeah, that'll work. Refrain from making it too thick. It's not a very straight piece, but I can just glue on there. I have my hot glue gun on low. I don't need to burn myself again. Yeah, it's not quite flat. Straighten that out a little bit more. Boom. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what that means, but yeah, sure. Actually, I just realized it'd be much easier if I applied a piece of tape like this, then line it up a little bit like that. Oh, actually, I need to give it a little bit of space. This should help with gluing a little bit. I see another comment. Ow, hot glue guns hurt like hell, and I'm still left scarred after industrial level hot glue gun dropped a huge blob on my hand on the highest heat setting. That's not very fun at all. I don't think I've ever had anything quite like that, but this glue gun gets very hot, and I actually think I got some blisters, multiple blisters on my fingertips, but I never had like any huge globs land on my hands yet. I don't intend to either, so that sounds very painful. But yeah, that sucks. So oh no, don't use any product on. I think one of my siblings' pets are trying to get through the door. Because for whatever reason they love it in this room.
Probably why my carpet's always very hairy and stuff. Okay. Try and kind of keep that strained out while the glue cools off. Oh, I just realized. Should probably cut out a little ring for the eye. Like a little ring to kind of border it. Might even just need it. No, actually, I think I can get away with... Yeah, I think I can just get away with building the frame over it and then cutting out a hole in the frame. That's not fully straight, I just noticed. That doesn't bother me too much though. What matters is I need to get this the thickness of this even. I just want this piece is what's not flat or straight enough. Hi there, Silim4433. Hello. I am, just to kind of keep any new viewers updated, because there's 4 people right here. I am building an Ennard cosplay. Right now, I'm working on making the mask more 3D, so it's not just a couple flat pieces of cardboard. I'm gonna set this aside. This is the progress I got so far. But right now, I'm gonna trace this out. There you go. That should be good. Just notice this little piece right there. I'm gonna snip that. Just so it's not dead silent. You guys can ask questions, so I'm not just rambling on to keep the noise going. Feel free to ask questions all you want, but I'm gonna just continue working on this, and I'll answer questions as I build. Oh, my watch is beeped. What is my other costumes? I don't really have very many full costumes. I got mostly helmets, but not full costumes. I do have one full costume that is like a guardsman costume, urban shade guardsman based from Roblox Pressure, which is by far one of my more favorite Roblox games for a while. I still have the full costume, but I'm not going to suit up for this whole stream because that would just take extra time. But I still got the full costume. I could definitely do a costume reveal before long of all my helmets and stuff, since I've recently got a little bit less camera shy. Make sure to get right angles. This is looking pretty decent so far. At least I think so. Alright. I might start from bottom to top, but what do y'all think? Top to bottom or bottom to top? I might do bottom to top. Yeah, I think, you know what, I think I'm just gonna do bottom to top. I think that'll be a little easier. Are you a fan of waffles or pancakes? It kind of just depends. Waffles are by far in my opinion, I think waffles are better, but it kind of just depends how they're made, because almost every waffle I've ever eaten was either too dense and fluffy, or they were just really crispy and delicious. I think I still have a waffle maker, and I made my own waffles for a while. It's a smaller one, but it took forever to make the waffles, and they almost never came out crispy, so I had to toast them in a toaster. Waffles are good, but took a long time to cook for some reason, so it's almost not worth it some mornings. So it kind of just depends on the time. Okay, so that's going to be around this point. I just realized I probably should seal the bottom side of this. You know, maybe that's a smarter thing to do. Seal the bottom portion of this, because the jaw is going to be here, and the jaw is also going to be 3D. Then this area can be flat. Of course, I have to make a little curve that goes down. Actually, I just realized I cut this at an angle like this. Yeah, I can use this for both sides. Trying to be resourceful here. Oh, dang, I just realized it's also not going to reach the top. Well, actually, that's not going to... Actually, I just realized it's not going to be a big deal. I can still make that work. How good are you at cooking? Well, from how I can probably see it, good enough that I can live rent-free in my own household. I guess that's probably how I can say it. Not much of a cooker, more of a baker. I actually just made two batches of cookies last night, or 24 cookies, peanut butter cookies. It's forever since I last made those, and those are really dang good. But I think I'd say I'm relatively well at cooking. I at least know my way around how to cook a lot of meats and other things. I can make juicy chicken, juicy steak, all with good flavor. But most of the flavor just comes from just adding whatever I think works until it tastes good. But so I think I'm relatively decent at cooking. Good enough that I'm not going to need to go shopping for a meal every time I need to eat. I can just make something at home. Another question. What place around the world would you want to live at? In all honesty, I think I'm probably in one of the better areas to live in. My home state, Wyoming, it's a very quiet state, and I really like quiet areas and all. So I think where I'm at is a good place. Of course, there's a few flaws, and like any other good place would have, but I think I'm in a pretty good place. Just living in this state that apparently doesn't exist is a very nice, peaceful place to be at. It's quiet, not a lot of people and all. Mostly has small towns instead of big cities, which I much prefer, since last time I visited a big city, I got really dizzy seeing all the buildings. Might just be some form of megalophobia or something. Actually, I guess it would be more of a fear if that was the case, so maybe I just was a little bit dumbfounded from the height of some buildings. Okay. You have other helmets and costumes are awesome. Your other helmets and costumes are awesome. You should have a live to show them. I probably should at some point. I might even. I might have to do that for another live stream. I'm not going to do that this stream, but another live stream I am going to probably do that. I might even just upload a video or a short of them, since I guess it could probably be a more short thing because I don't have a ton of helmets. But yeah, I could probably make that work. But that would have to be another time. This might. I think that'll work. I just realized I just have another piece that's the same size. Same cut, I guess. I just noticed. I think this piece is more rounded off than this piece. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's not the case. It's because this piece is slightly wider. Because I'm actually going to have I'm going to have Ennard's big old clown nose. Well, it's kind of small, but like I'm going to have Ennard's nose on this half of the piece. So I'll make this half slightly larger or wider, so it has more space to hang on to. So if I make this mask hinge open, it can still open, you know. So at the moment, I'm gonna start kind of. I might just have to start calling this caging. I might start caging or beaming. I'm not sure what the word. What would the word be? I might just call it caging. It's kind of what I'm doing. I'm gonna cage over this mask like this. Yeah, I'll make that work. Though I have to kind of round. I gotta flatten that a lot more. Has a benefit of making slightly rounder, which is ideal. Because I was trying to get this to look more round instead of slanted in the first place. No. Probably should consider taping these pieces off first. Another question. Do I have social anxiety? I won't say I have social anxiety. I'm just a bit awkward. I'm kind of awkward, and I'm just not really a people person. Like, even right now, I'm a little bit nervous doing this stream for my first time, but I think it's also a good thing and probably be better for my social skills and better for my YouTube channel as well. Because I think this would be this would be very fun to do. For a while. Even now, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. It's kind of nice to be able to talk and do art and actually have someone to talk to. Because most of the time when I do art, I'm usually by myself in a cold basement. But that's kind of just my thing. You know what? I just realized I might just work on half the face for the moment and then work on the other half instead of just trying to build both at the same time. I think if I just do that, then and kind of figure this out. I need longer cuts though. So if I did that, I want it to be slightly longer. Something like this I have to do. Yeah, I think this is gonna do. Widest point is around here, around where the cheek is. Probably should have considered getting music running again. I thought about that earlier, but did not do it because sometimes I forget things. I could do that next stream if I do another stream before long, which I probably will. Oh shoot, I think I just cut that a little short on accident. Yeah, it's a tiny bit short, but that'll work. Oh Lord. I don't know if we all heard that, but my spine just made a fireworks show. It's sitting with a very bad posture at the moment. Yeah, I should sit up a little closer so I can sit up more straight while getting my work on camera. Actually, I just thought of this. I might actually consider using shorter strips to kind of ring the eye around so it's a little bit more round looking. I might do that. I just do that instead. Yep, as in I should. Yeah, I think I might do that. I might do that. It seems like it could be more. I guess they'll have a more crisp or more artificial look. No, actually, I have a more organic, kind of rounded off look, but I think it'll look good. I might just go ahead and do that, actually. I'm gonna use thinner strips, though. Actually, I just realized if I left this piece kind of like this, it kind of has a more, kind of allows a more natural looking, I guess,
cheek ramp. Because I remember I was looking at some references of Ennard, of his mask especially, and it seems like he kind of has a bit of a. I never really saw anything from the side, but it kind of looks like he has a. His cheeks a little bit more higher up, and it kind of just slants up naturally into the nose. I guess the nose is a little bit lower, but yeah, I think this will look good though. These pieces. I think I'm gonna space some of these pieces out a little bit, and then fill in the gaps between. All right, got 5 people here now. It's really cool. Anyone new here is very welcome. Is welcomed here, I should say. My bad. I don't think that's quite what I'm looking for. Tape's not holding that well. I'm gluing this down. Okay, actually, now I think it looks better. Now I'm holding it. Yeah, I'll just use it like I'll just keep it like this. Glue the piece down slightly, or tack it down a little bit, so it holds its form better. Should probably move the cord over like that. And move this back. Put it off this side. All right, that'll work. Yeah, I can see where I'm going with this, don't you? I'm sure you probably do. I'm sure you probably saw that ages ago. So I think this will work here. There, I'll keep it like this. Hold on. Wait. Got another question. Wait, is this from your phone or your computer? This is from my phone. I barely know how to work a computer. So, I mean, I'm sure I could probably figure it out in no time, but yeah, I kind of struggle with using a computer because I just don't use computers very often. So this is on my phone though. You probably heard a couple notification sounds. From a couple messages, but I'm just gonna ignore those for the moment because I'm live and I'm expected to have no interruptions. Oh, I just burnt my fingertip a little bit. Anytime I feel any bit of hot glue get on my hands, I just immediately start rubbing like that because it causes the glue kind of, I'm not sure why, but like seems like it cures faster and it kind of spreads the heat around so it's not focused in one spot. It's slightly less hot. It's still hot, but instead of being a lot of heat on one small spot, good lord, I started a lot. Instead of being a lot of heat on a small spot, it's more on a wider area, so it kind of burns less, I guess. Because thicker globs of glue tend to be hotter and thinner, cooler, I guess. That's kind of what I figured out. I guess that's how I kind of see it. Maybe it's just me. Some on my screen. I don't know. I'm just starting to notice with this wireframe structure I'm starting off with, it looks even more like the Fun Times with their
weird wiry endoskeletons. I just noticed that it's kind of funny, kind of ironic. And yeah, I think this is gonna look good. It's already, I think it's turning out well already. Might have to be more careful gluing these though. Just tack that down. Try not to hit my fingers again. Getting a lot of hot glue strings. It's like clearing cobwebs. Trying to get rid of that. I need a longer piece for that. Actually, I should probably start focusing on transitioning the curve into this. I might do that. I'm actually gonna use one of these longer strips first. This is taking a lot longer than I actually thought it would, but so far I'm pretty happy with this progress. You cut this at an angle. I'm kind of just eyeballing it right now because I don't have very good measuring tools at all. So I'm just gonna use what I have, which is my pencils and I guess artist instinct. I could just do that and cut it out. Trying to get it slightly wider than what I saw originally. So I can make sure if there's any excess I need to cut off, I can just remove it there and then. Probably be smarter if I trimmed excess off first, well, after I build the whole thing. Yeah, this is gonna have to work. Hold on. Question: if you do live stream with music on it, if I could. Sorry, I'm stuttering a lot. If you do live stream with music on it, is it fine if I can recommend music to you? I'm cool with music recommendations. I've kind of just listened to the same artist for a while now. Used some of his music on a lot of my videos. So any recommendations are cool. I could do that. I could do that next time though, since I don't want to have to run down and have to disappear again and get a computer set up and stuff. That would just take extra time. And I presume most of you came here to see me build this thing, so I'm gonna keep up on it. I'm not sure why I added glue right after I put tape strips on it without me taping it down. It's just not really an error. What would I call it? Just a weird little whatchamacallit. Oh wait, I already got a strip of tape here. My bad. I think it's turning out okay. I might actually redo the lower half though, so it follows the same style as up here. Or actually, I think I'm gonna just keep going with what I already got. No, actually, I might reconsider. I might redo this bottom part. I think I might do that. I'm actually gonna cut it off now. Oh, it's not even glued down, so makes my job easier. I knew I was smart to tape things first. Oh wait, this piece is glued down though. Just slight little cut. Okay, I didn't really glue this down too hard, so that's good. Do you ever think of doing collabs with others? I do. I caught that message just in time. I have thought about it. I actually think I did a collab with another guy a while back. This was like a year ago, maybe longer. There's this other guy on YouTube called Nongsi Art. I might should say that again so y'all hear me right. It's Nongsi, not the other thing. He had his own like manga inspired drawings and stuff, and he uploaded quite a bit, and I saw he had his own OC. I asked if we could do a collab, and we did it. And he drew one of my characters, I drew one of his. It was neat. Although that was just a one-time thing. I thought it was kind of interesting. So yeah, I've done collabs. And it was kind of interesting to do. It was fun to draw someone else's OC. It's actually very fun to draw other people's OCs. And it's always very satisfying to see others draw your own OCs as well. Actually, I think it's pretty straight already. Yeah, the more I work, the more I build this, it looks more and more like one of the sister location animatronics. That's kind of ironic, considering this is Enard that I'm building. Think it's cool? Well, thank you very much. I think it's turning out quite cool myself. But so would anyone who's building their own mask and costumes and all. Actually, I'm gonna take this back. See if it's gonna fit. Oh, I just realized this should be an angle. This needs to be an angle too. Oh, it's barely even glued down very far, so I can just slightly wiggle it. Kind of pulling at it a little bit, but actually I can keep up the seam a little bit. And if it gets warmed up, it allows me to kind of have it pull back a little easier without risking tearing the cardboard nearly as much. I don't want to take this piece off, I just want to slant it back slightly. Good thing I caught that now instead of later, because that would have been a very frustrating fix later on. Okay, yeah, that looks much better. Dang, I've already been live for an hour and a half. Time flies. Time flies a lot. I'm gonna, I'll just keep working on this. Probably try speeding up probably speed up a little bit more until I at least get half the mask done, if not maybe even the full mask. And I will call it a stream. I'm gonna, of course, not try to rush this. I don't need to rush. Actually, glue this piece down. Already been live for an hour and a half. That's crazy. How time flies like that. Hold on. Do you have any artifacts in your room? I currently have a World War II German helmet somewhere in my room. I wouldn't say I got any artifacts. Oh, I can find just about anything in my room for some reason, but I do have one. Could be a fox hat. It's like some kind of military uniform hat. Kind of crushes my head every time I try wearing it, but it's a nice hat made with leather and some stitched on fabrics and all. It could just be a fake one, but it was like a World War II hat or military hat of some kind. That it was some kind of military hat. That's all I really know. I don't know my military stuff very well. So I wouldn't say I have artifacts in my room. But I do have one military hat. Alright. Now I'm starting to kind of get more gaps filled. So that's actually quite a long strip. I might divide that so I can spare a little bit more tape. I think I still have plenty of tape left on this roll, but still it's good to be resourceful and save or not really save, but use what you have sparingly if you can. It helps me get through multiple projects. I just realized. No, actually, hold on. Yeah, just a little bit of glue would help hold this in place. Alright, there you go. I thought it was just gonna... I'm gonna look here. Take a break at least. Yeah, I might get up and do a stretch or two before long. And you guys might get some back-breaking ASMR if I do that. So... Oh, well. Alright, this is gonna be an interesting spot to deal with. Alright. Notice I'm getting a little bit more quiet. It's because I'm kind of trying to lock in without... But I also got to remember I got a audience to keep. So I'm going to try and talk as I build some. Regularly check in the comments. Make sure... Actually, it wouldn't be called comments. It would be called chat. Alright, yeah. This is gonna work. Also, I just noticed my chat has a crown for top fans, and you guys are my 2 top fans. That's very cool. I really appreciate you guys' dedication to staying with me for a while. I remember when I first I don't even remember when I first had you guys first subscribed or nothing. But you guys are number one and two fans. I really appreciate your dedication. Means a lot to me. After I'm done making this half of the mask, I'm gonna get up and do a stretch or two, because I've been shrimp posing for an hour and 36 minutes. It's still kind of unbelievable. It's already been an hour. It's already been over an hour and a half. It's crazy. Maybe I just get in my own world a lot when I do art and talk a lot. I actually think there's multiple times I stayed up very late working on something, not realizing it was 1 o'clock. And I head upstairs thinking, where did everybody go? And how did it get dark so fast? And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, ooh. Ouch. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of a mess of blue strings. There. What do you think? I think it's turning out good. I almost think if I used some kind of newspaper and use paper mache, I could probably get the shape I'm trying to get a little bit easier in some way. But I'm very skeptical with paper mache on newspaper, because almost every single time I've done that, I always had like a clumpy mess of regret that turned out looking ugly and for some reason never seemed to fully cure. So I actually think it's one of the main reasons why I slowly quit doing paper mache, because it just got messy and kind of unpredictable. So even after I figured out the main causes were, I still tried fixing it. Never worked, so going back. So I'm kind of just losing what I'm about to say. That's my bad. All right, so I am currently getting kind of tired right now. I'll try to stay awake long enough for this live stream. You don't have to stay awake through the whole live stream. And okay. And yeah, it's turning out good right now. Thank you very much. Silum says, for me, I just ate breakfast, man. Lupus says, I feel so freaking good right now. I assume all of you guys live in different parts of the world. You're eating, unless maybe Silum is eating breakfast during the evening, because it's evening time for me. Unless they're eating breakfast in the evening, they might have they might have complete opposite time of what I have right now. And so it's kind of interesting. People from all over finding my channel. Well, I guess I wouldn't even say that, but like my channel's spreading through various countries. That's interesting. I just realized this piece is just about perfect size for this. Yeah, just a little trim and I can get that to fit. Try and get this at an angle. Okay, this is going to be a little trickier than I thought. I'm getting a bit quiet again. Oh, so I just noticed this piece does not need to be flat. Well, actually, I guess it kind of does. Yeah, I'll just keep that. No, actually, it doesn't need to be flat. At least on the very edge right here. I don't need to have a lot of a ridge. Okay, so I just trimmed that off then. There. That's... I guess I'm going to tape it down, but I'm going to tape it down, then glue it, and I might start doing that for the rest of this mask piece. It's a little flap right there. Also, I noticed if I need to get any smaller gaps, I can just use tape to cover it. Which is kind of what I did for the helmet. You can kind of see in these gaps right there, all those there's like seams and stuff between all the pieces I used to make the dome. Yeah, I don't need to cover this entire thing with cardboard pieces, but I think it would be better if I at least got as much as I could, so it holds its shape well, and I could apply my paint and glue and stuff over it without it getting kind of ugly looking. Just kind of do that. Yeah, I need to scoot up a bit more. Might adjust the camera slightly. There. I think this piece is gonna work fine if I just cut it. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, I think this piece would fit fine. It's kind of like cutting out a puzzle. You just gotta, instead of assembling pieces together that are already cut, you gotta cut and assemble the pieces together yourself. Kind of how it works with. It's kind of how it works with life. It's a puzzle. You don't just work with what you have. You gotta sometimes cut pieces to fit. At least that's how life's puzzle works. Regular jigsaw puzzles, though, that's not how it works. They come pre-cut for you because they're nice. Okay, this piece is sinking in a little bit. I don't need that. Question. Was Tundra more of a spoiled child? Tundra is actually not spoiled. She has one very, very complicated. She kind of has a pretty complicated story, but Tundra is this character of a made-up species I made in my free time. It's a lot. I'm not going to explain it all here, but so Tundra was. I guess I'd probably say she was more or less neglected growing up. She didn't have, although she had wealthy parents and, well, she was wealthy and rich almost her entire life, she kind of just got all the necessities but never actually got attention and stuff that she needed. So she's kind of just attention hungry, but also emotionally starved. So she's not necessarily spoiled. She even thinks that what she has isn't enough. She thinks that all the material she has just isn't helping her very much. So she's not spoiled. She's just kind of lost. One other detail I came up with is she's always trying to find some sort of affection because she never got the affection she needed growing up. But she starts to kind of confuse attention and affection as the same thing. So anytime anyone gives her attention, she thinks it's someone actually like expressing their love or something. And so she's always very attention hungry because she thinks that's gonna make her feel more complete or something. But she doesn't realize that the attention she needs is not. She doesn't realize the attention she needs is actual affection, not just attention for the sake of attention. But because she doesn't know the difference between the two things, she is kind of lost. But she's kind of just gradually figuring her way. She's kind of just supposed to figure it out. That's kind of what a lot of her story is. Speaking of stories, I need to learn how to make stories the actual narrative a little bit better than I currently do. Most of my stories are, or characters, they kind of have like a backstory, but they don't have a progression story. Should probably do that at one point, though. Heck, maybe one of these days I might do another stream where I'm drawing or painting one of my characters, maybe on like a huge sheet of paper or something, and I can do a show and tell type thing. Tell the character's story while painting or drawing them. That could be fun. Might do that one day. I just lost my pen. Oh, it's right there. Never mind. Thought I lost my pencil for a second. I noticed recently I was losing a lot of my erasers, and for whatever reason I just couldn't seem to find out why. Like I have my paper and pencil and stuff left by my bed or by my desk for some, usually by my bed or something. And the next day the eraser would be gone. I'm like, what's happened to my erasers? Turns out one of my dogs is eating them, and I'm actually like kind of concerned. They stopped doing that a long time ago though, so well, maybe not a long time ago, but yeah, one of my dogs was eating my erasers. I'm like, okay, what would you not eat? Yeah, sometimes dogs would literally eat anything. I'm surprised they're even still alive right now. Oh, I got another more. I have to move this out of the way again. So, I think this is turning out decent so far. I just remember I gotta do the same thing on the other side of the mask. Alright, got another thing. I wish I had my cat Blue with me, but apartment complex was a bitch and had me take him somewhere else until I can pay for him. Yeah, apartment complexes suck. I never lived in one, but I know family who lives in them. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry about that. You could probably find something to do, but I don't know. Yeah, apartment complexes are. I mean, they could be better. But this is what I got so far. I think I'm gonna just gotta do this whole thing. Gotta do the same thing on the other side. And on the jaw pieces. Jaw pieces should be quick though. But yeah, so far this is turning out good. Other half to go. Yeah. Well, I still gotta fill a couple more gaps. But I could probably just do that with a few scrap pieces. Yeah, like this piece. I'm gonna place these last few pieces, do a couple stretches, then kind of work on the other side, or the other half of the mask. But this time I'm probably going to do it a lot faster, because the stream's already stretching very long, and the streams are stretching pretty long, and it's also getting a little bit later, so I'm going to try and hurry without rushing, because I don't need a rush. Kind of got a little messy glove there, but just place a piece of tape over it, and it will kind of seal that a little bit. This is looking good. I think this is looking good already. Oh shoot. I'm gonna have to glue that piece down. I don't think I ever did, actually. You can just glue the piece of tape down. The adhesive isn't strong enough. Probably not ideal to do that, though. Kind of pry this piece up a little bit more. All right. Stream's already almost 2 hours long. I'm gonna put these last couple pieces together, and I'm gonna stretch, and I'm gonna get working on the second half of the mask, and I might just call it a stream then, because this lasts much longer than I thought it would. And hopefully I can try to make sure to save the stream, because I do intend to take some clips out of this for a full video, which would be pretty helpful, so I can still get some people to in some way watch the stream with all the highlights. That's my plan. I'm gonna record highlights of this stream, put those together for the video, and I will kind of call that I wouldn't say I would call that a tutorial, but it would be a little how I make helmets type thing. I might actually have to do multiple streams to make one full video, but yeah, that's my plan. That also really helped me get some long form content out for once, since I've done that. Nearly done with this. Oh shoot. My bad. Kind of got a piece stuck under the other pieces. Not ideal. Alright, there you go. I think I'm kind of getting it solved. Yeah, it's starting to kind of look more solid now. We need to talk about the One Piece. The One Piece is real. Yes, it is real. Ah, yeah. I see what you mean. At least I think I see what you mean. I don't know, I might be thinking something completely different. But yeah, I'm gonna tape this piece down and get up and stretch and pop every air pocket in my spine with an incredibly loud, crunching ASMR back popping sound. Because my spine does that almost every time I sit down like this. I'm literally like hunched over like a shrimp, Reading through y'all's comments, kind of like people build out of a box. I'm kind of lost in what conversation you guys are having. I was kind of busy working on this. I'll try catching up with it next time or later. Actually, I'm gonna glue this piece and glue this down. So it seals. It's kind of helpful to make sure to seal the pieces down, or seal them, I guess, so there's not like any large gaps. So whenever I treat this whole thing in glue, in multiple layers of glue and paint, it will end up nice and firm and held together well. That's what I did with one of my other helmets, which I'll have to show one of these times. I suppose I'm scooting back again. There, that should help. There's some more glue still. I really did not glue some of these pieces down. I thought I glued them, but I forgot to completely. Just a tiny bit at the edge right there. Should do fine. I just got another phone notification. Alright. Alright, I'm trying to catch up with your comments. Why is this helmet in my Among Us? I don't know. Why is it in your Among Us? You know what? I think this is good for now. I'm gonna get up and stretch. Oh, my bad. Oh, wow, I kind of needed that. Alright. Yeah, I needed it. I needed that stretch. Alright. Chicken sandwich. Amen to that. You know what? I think a little bit of tape would help. Actually, maybe one of these gaps, no. Yeah, there's just one gap here. Actually, might just seal that other gap too. Yeah, but these smaller slits, these can be covered with a little bit of tape. I don't need to cut small slivers of cardboard to seal that off. Use a longer strip of tape. Yeah, a lot of these pieces don't need glue to be held down very much. Though I might still add a tiny touch of it anyways, based on these little edges and corners. Oh, that's a little frayed. Just a tiny little touch here and there would help keep it a little bit more steady or a little bit more firm. Oh Lord. My teacher forsaken my class. Oh, good Lord. That is diabolical. Alright, so what's the other thing? I wonder what all you guys big simp on characters. What characters do we simp on is what you're saying? I don't have any characters I simp on. At least none that I can think of on top of my head. Quite the question. But what on earth is that previous one? My teacher forsaken my class to say 67. I'm tired of that meme. If I upload this to a full video, I'm censoring that. That meme has gone so has gone so out of control that I'm gonna have to censor that in the video. I'm absolutely gonna make sure to do that. that is just diabolical of your teacher. Are sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm very sure. Oh, good Lord, I'm almost finished with half the mask after freaking 2 hours. 2 hours and 2 minutes. Actually, I guess I kind of spent 30 minutes working on this headpiece, but still, good Lord. The stream is lasting much longer than I thought it was going to be. All right, I'm calling that I'm calling that a half a mask. I'm gonna add the nose and eyebrows on later, but I'm calling that half a mask. This is good enough. I don't need to cut any more slivers of cardboard. My back can only take so much more of this, which is half a mask. Which is another half a mask, I should say. So I'm still gonna try and make sure I at least get the other half of the mask done before I end the stream. So I'll try and make it quick this time. Now that I know what I'm doing, should take a lot less time. Okay, hold on, that gap is still a little bit large. Alright. Small little cut right there. Making sure. 2 hours-ish equals half a mask. And yeah, well, actually it only took about an hour and a half to make half this mask. Oh shit, I sure this piece is coming loose. The other like 30 minutes I spent working on this cage piece to this helmet. I find VR chat funny. Yeah, you can see some pretty crazy stuff in VR chat. I never played it myself. All I know is that it can be a wild card of an experience. I think the closest I ever got to it was Rec Room. Rec Room was I guess I could probably say it was peak, but too bad it's shutting down because I actually really enjoyed it. But I think I can say once I attach this piece, this is half a mask done. Glue it down, remove the piece of glue that's already solidified on my thumb. Oh Lord, your reference, stand by for my arrival, worm. I judging how do I put this? Based on one of you mentioning VR chat, another one mentioning worm. I think I see where this is going. You guys are immediately blessed from that. Not from me, but you know why. Good lord. Alright, I'm calling that half a mask base. Of course, it's kind of ugly looking right now, but this is just the main shape. Once I coat it all in the main layers of, well, I'm going to just call treatment for now, it'll look fine. But now I gotta do that for the other half. This time it'll be much faster. Way faster, actually. Gotta kind of bend this piece a little bit more. Alright. I just gotta copy the same thing on the other side. Lord have mercy. Alright. I'm gonna speed run this without rushing. So this stream doesn't end up 3 hours long. And so it's a watchable stream, so it's a fully watchable stream. I don't want to extend it too long. So here I go. Yeah, it should be much faster now. I know what I'm doing. So get the edges first. If I can get the tape to... I just realized I got a bunch of strips I placed right here I can use. There. I don't need to get the other half perfect. I just want it to look relatively close enough. All right. Any of y'all have questions, you can always just ask me any moment. I might see it or might not. But I will definitely try to give you an answer. Did you know the official models for some mobile suits are long? I did not know that. I don't even know anything about Gundam. I used to think that's what you're referencing. All I know is it has something to do with mobile suits. I think that's what you're referencing. But yeah, mobile suits can literally just be about anything, really. It's basically just VR, but instead of controlling virtual character, you're controlling virtual real something. I think that's what it is. I just noticed this little gap and it's kind of bothering me. So there, I'm stealing that. And I'm putting this off the side. No working on it anymore. At least not for tonight. Actually, I'm going to need it for reference though, so I'll keep it up. Okay, so edge piece right there. Yeah, like that. Relatively longer piece. This time I'm going to try using wider pieces. Did you watch the Gundam's 50th anniversary? I see you guys are talking. Lord, please have mercy. Was then made to fight kill the most sweaty loadout. Never. I assume Gundam is now a game. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. You guys might need to educate me about that. In the meantime, though, I'll have to keep working on this. I see. This time, now that I know what I'm doing, this other half of the mask shouldn't take nearly as long as the first half did. Because this stream is going to be much longer than I anticipated. It's already longer than I thought it was going to be. Right now, I guess it is an art stream, so it's going to be long. Getting silent again. Kind of just locking in now. Yeah, this helmet's kind of in the way. Kind of looks nice on stream, but it's kind of in my way right now, so I'll just leave it off to the side. Oh Lord, this stream is lasting much longer than I thought it was going to. I think I already said that multiple times already, but I'm just more surprised from it every few minutes. It's like I'm every like or something. Interesting. Keep forgetting I have these little strips already placed on the box I have my phone standing on. Scoot up a little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna read comments real quick. I'm gonna go grab my MSM10 Zoc real quick because he big green jelly bean. Alright. You do that. You do you. I'm not going anywhere for a little bit. All right. It's getting quiet again. Yeah, for next live stream, which I'm not even sure when that would be, but for next live stream, I'll make sure to have some music playing in the background. As I'll try to make sure to. I can't promise that, but I'll try to get some music playing so it's not dead silent. and it's a bit more interesting. Could even check out what some of y'all's music taste is. Because I'm a very uncultured individual, so I'm not going to know a whole lot of music besides some like very select stuff. But I guess that can be pretty fun to do. Sometimes getting hot glue strings out of your area is like spinning cotton candy, just twirling up as much as you can until it all comes off. Sometimes kind of satisfying, other times gets messy. Alright. I'm gonna try and finish this before stream hits 2.5 hour mark. Because I don't want to stretch stream too long, because I am gonna have to kind of like watch through some of it. Even after it's done. If I can, I'll make sure to leave the stream up on the channel so anyone can go back and rewatch it if they want. And I also intend to make sure to record all the highlights and stuff I can find and put them together for a full video. I think I already mentioned this before, but mentioning it again. What it all comes in. You ever try to eat the hot glue once like it was cotton candy? No, oh yeah, maybe I have. I don't know. Definitely wouldn't have good flavor though. Maybe I have at some point. Never know. I'm a freak of nature. Just noticing how this mask is a bit uneven. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much because I kind of saw it since the beginning. It almost bothers me because a part of me is always like into evenness and all. But I'm like, it doesn't need to be even. It's entered. He's a mess. I can probably make, even for the sake of style, I might actually make this mask look like it's slightly withered or damaged in parts. Just because weathering is kind of fun to do. So it's getting these two parts that are the most annoying. Okay. So how am I going to do this? Alright, I'm going to do it like that. Yeah, that works. Kind of just bend this piece up a lot. See what y'all are saying again. Entered is silver spaghetti with a mask. True, that is very, very true. Okay, I'm gonna read. Original Gundam grew over the years. Alright, it's a lot of history. Enters a silver spaghetti with a mask, and oh wait, it's a different commenter. Alright, I'm getting back to it. Okay. Kind of just eyeballing some of these cuts. Can always adjust them if I need. It's worked multiple times with my other costumes. It should work with this one too. But I can see I'm already making some progress. Oh, shoot. I got streams almost 30 minutes long in 10 minutes, so let's try and do this quickly. All right. That's not nearly sharp enough of a cut or curve. It's not even a curve. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so trim that, tape that, might even glue that. It's kind of what I've just been doing this whole time. Cut, tape, and glue. I think this is looking decent. It's getting there. Got a few minutes left before it reaches 2.5 hour mark. I'm getting this done much faster than I did the first half of the mask. I need to cut this piece much thinner though. Actually, I think I need to cut out this. Okay, yeah, I just cut this piece funky. I'm gonna have to get a new piece. Yeah, looks like I got another commenter. Who am I cosplaying? An OC? No, actually, I am cosplaying a Five Nights at Freddy's character. I'll let you guess. You can probably figure it out quickly. Hold up, you gotta deal with the bloody situation yourself. Alright, you do that. I'm not going nowhere. Not the marionette, no. You might be getting close to the right idea though. This will help you out. This might help you out already. I'm making, yeah, Spaghetti Man, exactly. I was just about to say that. I was about to say metal spaghetti, but yeah, that's my idea. I even got some concept art or a little sketch of them I did earlier today. If you want me to see it, I can pull it up. shoot. And the stream is about to reach 2.5 hours long, and I intend to at least finish this other half of the mask before then, because I'm gonna have to end the stream soon. I think so for a first stream, this is pretty successful and pretty decent. I know most streams don't really get a whole lot of people, so I wasn't expecting a lot of people. That, and this is my first stream I've done. I guess my first actual stream. I guess I did do like a test stream at some point last year, but yeah, that was just a test one. It wasn't really a real stream. Had to glue this piece down a lot. I see. It looks awesome. Thank you very much. Codus the Random. I'm gonna torture my OCs soon because it's for the lore. For the lore. Alright, yeah, you can do that. That's cool. That's very cool. Torturing your OCs for the plot, the lore development. Totally. It's totally ethical. If they were a real person, they'd probably beat the crap out of you if they could. So, alright. Well, thank you for stopping by for the stream, Codus. That was very cool. And the person says, well, it's good to know I can watch someone do crafts while I do my own crafts. Lol. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad I can be I'm glad I can be inspirational to other artists, or I'm glad I can just be I'm glad I can be good company at least. It's kind of what I thought about doing. I was trying to just be a more chill streamer to watch, do art, and enjoy myself, have some fun, and read the slightly out-of-pocket chat every once in a little bit. And it's about to reach. I got like 1 minute before its 2.5 hour mark. Can I do it? I don't think I can. Trying to do this little challenge thingy. See how far I can get. If I don't, then I'll just keep working on this until I finish, but yeah, I was trying not to let the stream get too long, but it seems like it's going to be at least an hour and a half long. No, sorry, 2.5 hours long, which is much longer than I thought it was going to be, because I thought I was going to be here for only like maybe an hour. But no, I've just been having a lot of fun doing this. Nice thing is there's always a bunch of little scrap pieces I can reuse for cups like this. Oh wow, that just went flying straight to me. Trying to learn coding. Not too good at it. Well, I gotta go. You keep the awesome work, dog. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by as well. At least you're trying, though. Trying to learn code. Well, if you're learning code, you're not gonna be good at it at first. Also, Codus. At least you're trying, because now I'm at a level of getting games on the school computers like Ultra Kill. Ultra Kill seems like it'll be fun. I've seen enough gameplay clips of it and all, and some really cool animations by Itchalor to know that it's gonna be a really cool game. Can't play it though because I own a PC. But yeah, it seems like it could be a fun game. I only got like an Xbox and a phone, but I think that's all you really need because you can still get some pretty good games on Xbox. And it seems like I failed to complete this before the 2.5 hour mark. But hey, at least I got this piece mostly done faster than the first half of the mask. I'm getting close to finishing this piece. And it's slowly but surely, but I'm getting there. That's not quite long enough for use. Sometimes you need to have pieces curve too well, as you can still kind of just bend them into the right shape, even if it goes against the grain. Usually I don't do that, but I will if I can or should. Make sure I'm keeping up. Yeah, Xbox pretty good. Xbox is awesome. I've grown up with Xbox like my entire life, basically. Starting with Xbox 360, then up to Series S. Yeah, Xbox 360 was awesome during my childhood. Playing Minecraft and Portal and a couple simple Xbox games that are really old. I already forgot the names to all of them, but they were some pretty good games. Very fun. And now I currently have the one I currently have. I think this is looking decent so far. I wonder if this piece would fit. Probably would, actually. Hold on. Hold on, I might have to do this the other way. No, actually, I think it's going to fit the other way. I'm starting to think this one piece is a little bit raised. Higher than it needs to be. Yeah, it is a little raised. Getting close to finishing this. Once I do, I'm probably gonna end the stream after I finish this one piece, because I can't keep this going all night. But yeah, so far, for as long as I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question first. What inspired my channel name? Actually, I honestly don't even know. I think I just kind of took a mix of my own name plus make. I just put Mick Makes because Mick is kind of like some kind of variant of my own name. sort of, not exactly, but it's kind of. And I put makes because I make things. I don't do a specific art thing usually. I mean, I do drawing and stuff, but I also do costumes making and all. So I just thought I make things, so I'm just gonna put the two and two together to make my channel name. I see there's already actually a couple people on YouTube who have the same name, but they're usually like they're very, very small like much smaller channels than mine, with completely different topics. Have the same idea as you? Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this piece. Then I'm gonna call it a stream. If you have any more questions you'd like me to ask, I would answer a few of them. And I will call that a stream. And I'll update you guys tomorrow probably. This piece is not wanting to fit. How annoying. Actually, I just realized if I held this piece up while the glue cures, I can just do this until glue cures, and then I can tape it down. This piece just does not want to stay in place very well. Actually, I had an idea. If I just glue this piece on my finger, it's still partially under. I mean, it's not like under the spot where I'm gluing, so I'm not going to get glue on my finger. But you know what I mean. Okay, FNAF question. Which one of your OCs would eat barbecued chicken? It's very fun as Freddy. Oh, I thought you said FNAF question. Final question. Which one of my OCs would eat barbecue chicken? Honestly, I can imagine most of them would, but it would most likely be Tundra, since she has a thing for spicy food. She has a taste for it, I should probably say. I guess barbecue chicken isn't really spicy, but you know what I mean. Get a piece of tape all over my hands. I'm almost done with this piece. So that's kind of nice. Oh, shoot. Now I can think about it. Now that you were asking questions about my OCs, you guys were at least. I need to read through this chat again. So Tundra has a thing for food with a hell ton of seasoning. Yes, she likes food with a lot of seasoning. And yeah, I guess chicken wings can be spicy. Yeah. Speaking of my OCs though, makes you think I need to figure out how to share more about my OCs through content. I need to find something I can do besides just a few drawings and a few posts, because I'm clearly not showing them too much as characters. So I could definitely do that another time though. Again, maybe like a show and tell type thing with drawing or painting. I could probably draw or paint while live. I should probably do that more often. Actually, it could be that could be fun. Ah, shoot. Ennard's mask is splitting open, but not in the way I intend. You're not supposed to be splitting it open that way. You're supposed to do it another way. Yeah, just smear some little bit of glue on there. That'll do it. Alright, I think there's a couple more pieces of tape and this thing is done. Let's see that. Hey, makes I see your face. Oh yeah, I'm trying to kind of keep my. Okay, I'm gonna prank my fan using his Google account. Oh, hey, makes I see your face. All right. I'm trying not to show my face too much, but I mean, I guess. Thank you for letting me know. Try not to show my face too much because I'm still kind of trying to adjust to online space, but I think this is one of the hardest parts done so far. That's just the main part of the face done. I think I'm gonna have to call it a night for the stream. I appreciate. Oh wait, hold on. Free at last. Yeah, I recognize you, Run Wyoming one. I recognize you. I know what kind of man you are. Free at last. Yeah, I know that whole speech, but I am going to end the stream here. I do appreciate you guys coming to watch this. If you would like to see more of these, let me know, and I will try to stream and stuff more. But I thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you next time. See y'all later. Alright, I'm gonna go now. This is the progress made so far, plus the helmet. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you for coming.